92.5. Second date update.
I feel like modern dating has gotten so crazy lately. Sometimes you just have to take a page out of the old 1950s dating book.
As a woman, I'm going to go with no on that one.
No, I'm saying just go back to the basics. Keep it simple.
Okay,
Take your
like
best
what?
gal to a movie. Split a cherry Coke.
Okay.
Do a little necking in the back row. Before you know it, you're going steady.
Oh.
Wow, going steady. I
Yeah.
haven't heard that in a
And you
long
got
time.
yourself a little housewife.
They're
Yeah.
easy, and that's what one of our listeners, Josh, did for his first date. He went old-fashioned, took his girl to a simple movie. Isn't that
Okay.
right, Josh?
Yeah, kinda.
What do you mean,
Oh,
kinda? How is that a kinda? Like you either went to the movies or you didn't?
We went together, but didn't go together.
Huh?
Yeah, you're
Wait.
not being clear here.
Yeah, you
What?
went together, but you didn't?
Yeah, what do you
Wait.
what's this girl's name first of all?
This girl's name is Renee.
Okay.
Okay. And what do you mean you and Renee kinda went together but not really?
Well, long story short, we sat on opposite sides of the theater.
Why?
Aw,
Wait, were you on a
awful.
date with her, or is this we're calling somebody you stalked for a couple hours at the movie theater?
And so I wore her skin the next day. No,
Whoa.
I'm joking, but this was like the weirdest date I've ever been on.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh.
So wait, where did you meet Renee? Sorry, before the movie theater.
I met her on a dating app.
Okay.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But she was like so hot.
Right.
And, I don't want to sound shallow or whatever, but she was like out of my league.
No, congrats. We're all proud of you, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks, my dude.
I got you. I got you.
So what happened with the movies?
Well, when we matched, she messaged me. She was like, okay, we can hang out or whatever. I can get to know you, but I have really specific rules.
Oh.
Dude, only hot chicks
I
have
know.
specific rules.
I know, that's because they can.
As
That's
an
because they
ugly-
can. I never had any rules when I dated for some reason.
Women and their conditions.
Ugh.
What were the rules?
Well, the first one, she was like, I don't get physical on the first date, and that has to be okay with you.
Of course.
I mean, that's
Okay, yeah.
that's an understandable rule. I thought there was going to be something crazy,
Yeah.
like you have to buy me steak dinner at a certain restaurant.
Actually, I think the girls that don't want to get physical on the first date are the most quality women
Well,
that are
Oh,
holding
get
out.
out of here,
Oh, well, come
Jeffrey.
on. I
Oh,
wasn't saying that as a dig at you. I'm just
so
saying.
quality,
if
the
a-
ones that
They're
don't sleep around, the
boring.
ones that don't like
They are
sex.
boring.
Oh,
No,
give me
it's
a
not
break.
boring.
All right,
it's just,
prude.
It shows that they know their own value and they're not
Yeah.
going to give it up on the
No,
first date.
what we were back to her rules. What were her other rules?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so she only had one other rule,
Okay.
and that was that we should see a movie, but we're not going to watch it in a traditional way. She was like, I'll meet you in the lobby. We'll share a snack for like 15 minutes or whatever and talk.
Okay.
And then when we go into the movie, we will sit on opposite sides of the theater.
What?
Why?
She said at the end of the movie, if you feel a connection before when we were talking, you walk to the center of the theater and we'll meet up and get a drink. And if not, then you just turn and go down the aisle and we don't have to see each other ever again.
Oh,
So, but I don't understand. Like, why even
wow.
do the movie? Why not just go get coffee and spend 15 minutes together and then decide if you want to date then? Like, what?
I don't know. I thought it was crazy, but I went through with it because I think it could have been worth it.
Okay.
Because she's hot.
Yeah, exactly.
So was it? Was it worth it?
No.
What happened?
Here.
Well, I met her and we shared popcorn in the lobby. And
Nice.
I thought we had a connection. We were laughing and we had a lot of the same interests and stuff.
Good.
All right.
It was great. And then at one point she looks down at her phone and she's like, oh, the previews are about to start. I guess we should go in.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to miss those previews.
Yeah.
Yeah. And before I could even say oh, yeah, that sounds good, she was already up and walking away.
Whoa.
That's not a good sign. Did you? I mean, I would have been like, oh man, I blew it.
Yeah, well, part of me thought that, and then part of me was like, is this just part of the rules that I don't understand?
See,
Yeah.
maybe you were already hitting it off. She could feel she wanted to kiss you, and she had to leave.
It does feel like some weird initiation into a club.
She's trying to be untouchable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely creates a mystique around her. Like she obviously doesn't just date any guy and let anything happen. So how did the movie part go?
Well, I couldn't even focus on the movie because where we ended up sitting, I could kind of see where she was at.
Okay.
But I just was kept looking at her the whole time. I was wondering what's going to happen at the end of this movie. I couldn't even have fun and enjoy the movie.
Oh, I could totally see that. I mean, that'd be weird.
Yeah. What about her though? What was she doing?
And she didn't even look over once.
Oh, she didn't.
Oh, really?
Well,
No, not
she
a single
could
time.
feel your eyes burning into the back of her skull, probably.
Yeah. So by the end of the movie, what happened?
So movie ends, credits start rolling.
Okay.
I kind of peek over. You know the lights kind of come up in the theater, like halfway?
Yeah.
Everybody else is getting up and walking out. I'm looking over at her, and she hasn't even gotten up yet. The credits are. She's like reading the credits.
What were you doing? Was your heart just beating out of your chest?
Oh, it was going like 100 miles an hour, and then finally the final credits roll, and then she just walks right down the aisle and out of the theater.
Oh,
No.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, are you still interested in this chick? Because I think it's kind of messed up.
Yeah, Brooke.
I mean, my ego is not too big. I would definitely meet up with her again.
Okay. You'll take the abuse.
Yeah. What do you think you did wrong during the movie?
I mean, honestly, that's one of the reasons why I called, because I don't know what I did.
He couldn't have done anything wrong, really.
Yeah, but it
If he
sounds
threw
like-
something at her.
I mean, it sounds like this. Who knows with her, right? Like,
Maybe-
it could just be because she was just saying if there's a connection. I mean, what a vague
Yeah.
thing to say.
But maybe it was a test where she wanted you to come up and break the rules.
Oh God!
Like
Yeah.
Like a bad boy.
I'm going to tell you right now, stay away from women with tests. They're all crazy.
all women play games,
No.
Brooke.
Yeah.
You should definitely make
tests
sure
are
that
crazy,
your women get
dude.
tested before you go and hang out with them. I do not agree with that. But you know what? We're going to play a song. We'll come back. We'll call Renee for you, and we'll try and get you your second date update. All right, man?
Thank you, guys.
All right, hold on. Is it possible to have a long-distance relationship while being in the same room as someone?
That's a really funny way to put what happened.
I mean, I'd say Brooke's about 6 feet away from me right now. Brooke, are
Yeah.
you feeling what I'm feeling?
I'm not.
Oh.
You don't even know what I'm feeling.
I just know that I'm not.
Feeling a little bit weird. Maybe a little bit drunk, too.
Okay,
But
maybe I am.
Maybe,
maybe
okay.
a little bit.
You're right.
All right, there's something there. But one of our listeners, Josh, told us he went to the movies with a woman named Renee, and she had some of the most extreme rules and conditions anyone could possibly put forward for a first date. Because she said they were going to meet in the lobby, talk for a few minutes while eating snacks, and then they could go into the movie, but they had to sit on opposite ends of the theater so that they wouldn't have any physical contact, because we all know kissing out of wedlock is a sin, and if you do it, you go to HE double bendy straws.
Stop it. And
Bendy
she
straws.
never said that was why. She just said that it was part of her rules.
She said she wanted no
Yeah.
physical
But it could
contact.
have been something else. It
It's
could have
either,
been the.
I don't know. I think it's a game, or she really doesn't like
Well, after the film was over, she said if they felt a connection, they could meet up again in the middle of the seats and then go out for a drink. That was the agreement. And Josh was okay with that. The movie happened, lights came on, and Renee walked out. No explanation for why.
And the
So
sitting
bad.
waiting for her to decide through all the credits, even.
Oh,
And Josh, you guys barely hung out before, right? Like, how long were you together in the lobby before?
Couldn't have been longer than 15 minutes.
See? So
Wow.
what could he
Yeah.
have done in that
Ha-
time?
have you tried to call Renee?
Yeah, I've texted her and tried to call her, and I haven't gotten any responses.
Oh my God, I'm really impressed that like as she's walking out, you didn't just scream, "Why?"
well, you have that opportunity now after you hear
go.
what she says, because we're about to call her. You ready to do this, man?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm nervous. It's like I'm back in the movie theater all over again.
Oh, this won't be
wake
that
up?
brutal. It won't be that brutal.
Okay, well,
I hope.
let's dim the lights down like it's in the movies,
Ooh.
and we're going to call her right now. Here
Jeff,
we go.
Watch your hand.
Hey.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Renee, please?
May I ask who's calling?
Yeah, my name's Jeffrey from the radio show Brooke and Jeffrey in the Morning.
Who are you?
Wow, you really know how to
Ego
how to
Every
hurt.
time.
But my name's Jeffrey. I work on a morning radio show called Brooke and Jeffrey in the Morning. The whole crew is here.
Hey, what's
Brooke,
Renee.
Jose,
Hi.
Alexis. Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
Renee, cool.
So- I'm calling you today because we're doing something called a second date update. Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
Okay. Well, it's a segment that we do on our show. And basically, the idea is if you go out on a date with someone and afterwards, if they're not calling you back, you can email us and we'll reach out to that person for you to try and help you figure out the reason why.
Okay. I guess I don't know why you're calling me.
Well, we're calling you because a guy reached out to us. His name is Josh.
Oh.
That's not a positive response when we said Josh.
Yeah.
I take it you remember him?
Yeah, I went on a date with him. It didn't lead to anything. That's pretty much
Well,
the long and short of it.
Josh told us all about your date, and I have to be
Yeah.
honest, it's one of the weirdest first dates we've ever heard on our show before.
I mean, that's your opinion. I just got out of like a really tough relationship, and I do have like conditions now because
Yeah.
there's a lot of thirsty guys out there, and I'm not about that life. So
I think
No.
that's fine. But can I ask, like, what's the point of sitting on opposite sides of the movie
Yeah.
theater? Because he told us about that. Like, how do you ever get to know
Well-
anyone if you don't spend any time with them on a date?
I mean, we spent the 15 minutes together. Like, you know, he was a gentleman. He bought popcorn. Like,
Okay, so before the movie, you had a good interaction with him.
yeah, I mean, like, I really wasn't sure if there was a connection. We talked. It was fine. And then
Okay.
he agreed to my conditions, which I thought was, like, a good sign. But then, I don't know. Like, it just didn't really work out. And, like, you guys don't have to agree with me on my conditions. That's just, like, how I feel. Like, that's just how I feel comfortable. And he agreed to it. So there shouldn't be an issue.
No,
what-
that's fine. Like, I'm not judging you on your condition. It was
Yeah.
just unusual. We've never heard of it before. It's just why, after he went through with all of it, I don't think a lot of guys would have gone through that.
No.
Why would you walk out without even saying anything to him?
Well, I mean, I wasn't exactly alone in the movie theater.
What do you mean? Like, other people were watching the movie with you?
Yeah.
Because it's a public movie theater.
I mean, obviously,
lot of people.
Josh was in the theater too, so it couldn't have just been you.
That's not what I mean. My brother was there at the movie too, actually.
Oh,
What?
no. You
Did
set
you
up,
invite him?
you set up a spy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because, like I said, I was in a really rough relationship and just, like, don't want to get hurt like that again.
Okay.
And my brother sat right behind Josh and saw Josh texting and flirting with another woman during our date.
Oh, no.
What?
Yeah, but okay,
Hold
wait.
on, hold on.
How? One, how did your brother see that? And two, you guys aren't exclusive. You've gone on one date and you spent 15 minutes with a man. What, you want him to stop talking to all other women?
During the movie, like, I mean, I just think that's super disrespectful and
Yeah.
classless. Like, you don't text another woman, like,
Thing is mid-date. It's a
know.
oh, really, Brooke?
It wasn't
Really?
even barely
I
a
don't
date.
know.
I think texting in the movie theater is rude. Period.
Yeah.
But
Do you know what
that's
the text?
weird, man.
What did the text say?
they were just, like, super flirty to some girl named Andrea, and I was like, you can't refrain from texting other women for, like, an hour and a half. Like, that's just kind of really shady and gross to me, so I'm not going to deal with that. That's why I walked out.
I mean, it
it's all
sounds like
shady.
it sounds like you got really hurt, and this past dude, your ex, really scarred you. But just because he's like texting with another person while you're in the same movie theater, I mean, it's not even really a date you guys are on at that point.
Yeah, Brooke supports cheating. It's okay.
that's not true.
It's okay. Sleep around with whoever you want, whenever you want. But you know who I want to know? I want to know what Josh thinks about all this. Josh? Oh, I need to tell you. Sorry, Renee. Josh has been on the other line listening. He wants to
Jeffrey
talk
is
to you.
fired up.
Well, I think it's rude. But Josh, what do you think?
I do not know how to process this right now.
Dude,
Is it true? Is it true?
It's kind of true.
Okay.
Oh, that means it's true.
So wait, did you notice some dude sitting behind you, looking over your shoulder?
No, I mean, to be honest, I was pretty fixated on you, Renee, for most of that movie.
See?
In between texts?
Hey,
I'm
hold
a little
on.
confused.
He's not lying. He literally said you only turned maybe once. You almost never looked at him, and he knew the exact moment you left. His eyes were on you, majority.
Yeah, I
Not when he was
One
texting
text.
Andrea, so I just want to know
Well-
who Andrea is. Like, don't deny it because I have screenshots.
Okay.
What?
Damn.
It was just one text to my friend Andrea, and I had been talking with her about this date before I went on it, and she asked me how the date was going halfway through, and I told her.
I already know that's a lie because I have multiple screenshots of multiple texts, and you send your friends who are girls kissy faces and winky faces and eggplant emojis. No, I don't think so. So
Dude, that is so weird.
Oh,
I mean,
now
Josh,
it's weird, Brooke.
No, not Josh. Hers. Your brother is screen grabbing
okay.
somebody
Yeah.
else's cell phone. You can't spy on people during a date. I mean, Josh, are you upset or not?
Yeah, I mean, that's super invasive. I think that your
I
brother's
mean,
not
you shouldn't be texting other women during a date. I think that's really crazy.
Well, you were
So,
sitting on the other
I
side
guess
of the
agree to
theater, so what am I
disagree.
supposed to do? Twiddle my thumbs and wait for you to come over and sweep me off my feet?
What?
I mean, Josh, just honestly, just be honest with me. Like, did you meet this Andrea girl on the same dating site you met me?
Yes.
Oh!
But we went on like one date, and we immediately were like, "There's no connection." Wasn't romantic, and then we went out a couple more times as friends.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's too much for me here.
I just still think that's weird that you texted her during our date. Like, that just makes me feel like if you're willing to do that, then you'd be willing to cheat on me. So, like,
Yeah.
This is so
I
tough.
can't believe
mean-
we're not concentrating on the spy brother more.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Well,
know
I'm
what to
focused
say.
on Renee and her feelings. Specifically, Renee, if you feel like going out on one more date with Josh, because we'll pay for it. I have to ask that. I'm so sorry that I'm obligated to ask you if you'd like to see him again.
I think probably not. I already don't trust this person, so it's kind of a moot point to go out again.
Oh, Renee.
Josh, what do you feel?
I am glad that I don't have to be watched again. I don't think I could go out with Renee and feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Andrea? Would you like to go out with Andrea one more time?
I mean, look, now that everything's out in the open, I was going out with Andrea a couple times.
Okay.
Josh, don't do me like that.
Yeah, see, I could tell. I knew this guy was shady and rude. So, like,
Wow. This was a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a successful second date update or
I
not.
don't think it is.
Dude, Renee is not fixing her trust issues right now. I'll tell you that.
Moving 92.5.